Okay, in this video we are going to be talking about click events. On a web page, so many click events do happen. We have you can submit a form, which is an event on hover. So many things. You can click a button and you submit an event. So we are going to look at that in this video. So I will start. Let's create a button. This button is called click me. So when you click the button, you see nothing is happening. I'm going to create a function such that when you click on this button, it should do something. We want a situation where when you click on a button, you either submit a form or you update a state or you perform some kind of event. So I'm going to create a constant here. My constant is going to be called handle event, and it's going to be an arrow function. Okay, so the only thing the arrow function is going to be doing, it will console log. So it's going to say this is the first event. So that's what it's going to say. Now, but when we click on this, nothing is happening. Let me go to the console so you see that nothing is truly happening when you click on the button. Console. Well, I have lots of errors here which I think I will have to fix. Okay, it's not from this application, it's from another application. All right, so when I click this, you see nothing is happening. Nothing is happening here because I've not linked this action to this button, so nothing is really happening. But now let me link the action. So I'm going to call on click. On click, I have my curly braces, which is it can take a dynamic value. So I will do my handle event here. Okay, now I've created a link between this thing and this thing, and I'm going to test it out now. Let me refresh. Why am I getting all these errors? Okay, let's see. You see, this is it. So what is happening? We create a button and then we attach an event listener to our button. So this event listener is listening to any click. As soon as you click an event, it takes this dynamic value here in these curly braces and it renders this function, and we console log this on this console. That's what you are seeing here now. But what if we want to pass some kind of value from our button to this event? How do we do that? Well, let's see how we can do that by creating another button. We'll call this button click me again. Okay, and we have the button here. We click the button, nothing happens because we don't have any event that is handling this click. So let's come here, we click, we create another function that we are going to link with the event. Handle event again. That's the name. You can call it anything that you like to call it. It depends on you, your application. So we have another callback. So we have another arrow function here. So this arrow function, what is it going to do? It's still going to do console console log, and it will say you click me again. Now look at this. So if I want to pass an event from here on click, if I want to pass an event from here, so handle event again. So if I do something like this, is that spelling okay? Just hope I've spelled it correctly. Let me see. So if we do something like this, we call it like this, we are telling it to render immediately. This component is being rendered. We are calling this function immediately. We are not waiting for anything. You see, you click me again. That's it, as has been called already, whereas we have not clicked the button. We've not clicked the button, but it is calling this function already. But we don't want that to happen. So how are we going to pass something from here? Maybe a name. Maybe we want to pass a kind of name here. You can use some literals here, but for now I'm just going to use concatenate. So we can pass a name here. We want to pass a name. That's our intention, to pass a name here. Maybe John, so that we can get this name here. But it's not going to work like that because we have not even clicked this button, but yet this one is already calling this function to execute. So we don't want that to happen. So what are we going to do? What's the solution? We are going to use an arrow function. We are going to use an arrow function like this. So this is our arrow function that we are going to use. So this arrow function, we can put this event inside here. Oh, I see where I made this mistake. Handle. So we can do this now. And you see that even when we refresh our page, nothing is going to happen because we have not clicked the button. Now, when we click this button, it's going to call this event by passing this parameter inside here, and then we can get it here. So we can change this to make more sense for us. So let's click and see. We say good morning, John, and it works perfectly well. Now, in some cases, you see some people passing an event here. Once you click a button, you have access to an event, which is a giant object. So let's see how we can, what that event look like. If we do something like that and we click this, click me, we have access to all these methods on that particular event that we have clicked. You see all these methods inside. Now, if we can still do the same thing here by sending an event, and then we can even if we don't pass the event here, the event will be automatically passed as the first argument when we call this particular when we click this particular button. But for this case, we will need to pass the event inside here, and then we can pass the event again either before or after this name. It doesn't matter, so that we can get the event here. When we get the event here, we can do something with it. Again here. So when we click now, click me. So we say good morning. This is the event object. So but we can say event dot target. So let's see what this event is targeting. Let's click this. I'll refresh my page and we'll see what the event is targeting. So the event is targeting HTML button element. That is what this event is targeting. And this is truly an HTML button element. So we are going to have a lot of other use cases where we'll create events on buttons and make it do a lot more interesting things.